to put your flute together correctly. It affects intonation, it affects, tone quality. If you don't put the flute together properly, then you're either going to play the flute with the keyboard back too far, which means you're going to play flat, or the keyboard torque too far forward, you're going to play it too sharp. And if you play the flute flat or sharp, it's going to affect tone quality. Intonation directly relates to tone quality. The closer you play a flute in tune, the better the tone gets. It's called the maximum point of resonance. So the closer you get to play in tune, the better the sound. So, and you want to have that keyboard straight up because you want to be able to, it gives you the best possible way to move your fingers as well. You want to have nice, clean technique. So having the flute together, putting it together properly, allows for all those things. Allows you to direct the airstream in the right way as well, and to be able to manipulate the airstream the way that you need to. I always start them on the head joint because there's nothing more disheartening to a student than trying to play on a flute and you can't get a sound out. I mean, you're increasing the length of the flute by 2/3 the minute you add the rest of the flute. They need to be able to get a sound out of it first, which is actually quite simple with my pip method. So if you don't have these two elements working together first, all of this is just, this is just mucking up the works before you get it going. So yeah, you should definitely get that going first. It's important to be able to feel what you're doing, but you have to be able to see. It's important for a kid to see exactly what they're doing, where the embouchure hole is in relation to their lower lip and their upper lip, exactly how much embouchure hole is being exposed, because a lot of young flutists will expose the entire embouchure hole. I cover at least 50% of the embouchure hole. And when you are playing, you want to have at least 2/3 of the lower lip covered, and you want to have about a third of the lip exposed. There are a lot of different rules to how you play, but if you can't see what you're doing, if you can't physically see where you have the embouchure plate on your lower lip, how you have it, making sure that it's got that 90-degree angle, that you have it straight on your lip so that the airstream is hitting the strike edge in the right place, again, that's going to affect tone. It's going to affect your ability to make any sound. So they need to see, they need to do a lot of mirror work. But it's amazing how students will look away. They don't want to look at themselves. They're so scared to do that because they don't want to see, it's hard to see the truth. They don't want to see it. But I make them do it. It's very important. A flute stand is very important. You need to have a flute stand. A lot of flutists, young flutists, will put their stand on the music stand itself. They'll put it on a chair. I can't tell you how many flutes I've seen sat on, just crushed. Flutes put on the stand, fall on the floor. A lot of marching band flutists, they don't know about these collapsible small stands. They have to go out and practice formations without their instrument, and they'll literally put their instrument on the ground. This way they can just pull out the stand, put it on quickly, just unfold it and put their flute on the stand, and then it doesn't have to be in the dirt and get dirt in the mechanism and all that. And I introduce them to things like powder paper, cleaning paper for their pads, and lip plate covers for their lips, so when they're out in the heat and they're marching, their lip plate won't slip away from their chin, and things like that. Tuner metronomes, absolutely important, and a tuner pickup, so that they can tune with the whole band making noise around them and it just picks them up. Care and maintenance is crucial, and I devote a whole page of that in my manual to just care and maintenance. I give a do's and don'ts page. Students leave their flutes in cars. I've seen students submerge their flutes in water. They clean them improperly. They'll eat a Snicker bar and play on their flute and blow peanuts into it. It's just, yeah. And if you don't know, for example, that you can chew on a piece of bread thinking it doesn't have sugar in it and then blow into your flute because it's broken down into sugar in your mouth, you don't know any better. You don't know to go brush your teeth or just rinse your mouth out with water. So they need to know that the flute is a very delicate instrument, that you can really hurt the pads easily, that temperature affects the instrument, that moisture affects the instrument, how you need to clean it out, those kinds of things. So very important care and maintenance. And they'll save their parents a lot of money.